Everything you think you know about Megalodon is a lie. For decades, we've been sold an image, a monstrous great white shark, blown up to impossible proportions, teeth like daggers. A living nightmare that ruled the ancient seas. But here's the problem. That image, it's fiction. New evidence uncovered in 2025 has shattered our understanding of the most famous predator that ever lived. And what scientists have discovered is far stranger than anything Hollywood could imagine. This isn't the Megalodon you were taught about in school. This isn't the creature you saw in movies. This is the real monster. And the truth has been hiding in plain sight for 359 years. Our story begins in 1666. The coast of Malta. A Danish naturalist named Nicholas Steno stumbles upon something embedded in the rocks, triangular, serrated, sharp. Glossopetrae, they called them, tungstones. For centuries, people believed these were the petrified tongues of dragons or serpents, fallen from the sky during lunar eclipses. But Steno saw something else. He looked at these stones and saw teeth, shark teeth, massive shark teeth, from creatures that once swam in oceans that no longer existed. It was a radical idea. It challenged everything people believed about the age of the Earth, about extinction, about deep time itself. Fast forward to 1835. Swiss naturalist Louis Agassiz is cataloging these enormous teeth, trying to make sense of them. He notices the resemblance to modern great white sharks and makes what seems like a logical leap. He names the creature Carcharodon Megalodon, Megatooth, the great white's ancient ancestor. And just like that, a scientific mistake becomes gospel. For nearly 2 centuries, this classification stuck. Textbooks, museums, documentaries, all repeating the same story. Megalodon was essentially a supersized great white. But evolution doesn't work in straight lines, and the evidence was always there, carved into the teeth themselves, waiting for someone to look closer. Teeth tell stories, if you know how to read them. Modern paleontologists started noticing something that Agassiz missed. The shape wasn't quite right. Great white teeth are triangular, designed for slicing, clean cuts, surgical precision. Megalodon teeth? Different architecture entirely, broader, thicker, built for crushing as much as cutting. These weren't the teeth of a scaled-up great white. These were the teeth of something fundamentally different. Enter the Ottodontidae family, the megatooth lineage, a completely separate branch of the shark family tree that split off millions of years before great whites even existed. This wasn't just a reclassification. This was a complete rewriting of Megalodon's identity. It meant that every reconstruction, every museum model, every documentary recreation had been built on a false foundation. We weren't looking at the great white's grandfather. We were looking at a distant cousin, a different beast entirely, shaped by different evolutionary pressures, hunting different prey in different ways. But here's the thing about science. Just when you think you figured something out, a new discovery changes everything. And in 2025, that's exactly what happened. Belgium. A climate-controlled facility housing one of the Royal Belgian Institute of Natural Sciences' most valuable specimens. A single vertebra, fossilized, ancient, labeled Megalodon. For years it sat in storage, cataloged, studied briefly, set aside. But in 2025, paleontologist Kenshu Shimada took another look, and what he found rewrote the entire chapter. Using cutting-edge CT scanning and comparative analysis with modern shark anatomy, Shimada's team did something no one had successfully done before. They calculated Megalodon's true size and body proportion from vertebral structure. The results were staggering. Previous estimates put Megalodon at 15 to 18 meters. Impressive, but conservative. Shimada's analysis? 24.3 meters. That's nearly 80 feet. Longer than a bowling lane. The length of 3 average cars parked bumper to bumper. But size wasn't the biggest revelation. The body shape was all wrong. We'd been imagining Megalodon as stocky, bulky, a great white on steroids, thick through the middle, built like a battering ram. The vertebrae told a different story. Megalodon was slender, streamlined. The body proportions resembled a lemon shark, more than a great white, long, graceful, built for sustained speed rather than brute force ambush attacks. Picture it, a creature the length of a blue whale, but shaped like a torpedo, moving through the water with terrifying efficiency. Not the lumbering giant we imagined, but something fast, agile, elegant in its lethality. This changes everything we thought we knew about how Megalodon hunted, where it hunted, and why it disappeared. The question that haunts every extinction story. Why? For years, the popular explanation pointed to climate change. The Pliocene. Epoch, around 3.6 million years ago, ocean temperatures dropped. Ice ages began. The warm, shallow seas where Megalodon thrived started to disappear. Simple story, clean narrative, and completely insufficient. Because here's what the Ice Age theory doesn't explain. Other warm water species survived, adapted, migrated. Why couldn't Megalodon? The answer lies not in what changed about the environment, but in what changed about the competition. Around the same time Megalodon vanished, great white sharks were rising. Smaller, yes, but faster, more efficient. Better adapted to hunt the remaining whale populations in colder waters. And those whale populations? They were crashing. Climate shifts disrupted migration patterns. Feeding grounds disappeared. The massive prey that Megalodon depended on became scarce. Imagine you're Megalodon. You need thousands of pounds of food every day just to maintain your massive metabolism. Your body is built for speed and efficiency, but that size comes with a cost, constant hunger. Now imagine your primary food source is dwindling. Your hunting grounds are shrinking. And a smaller, more adaptable competitor is taking whatever's left. You're not being killed off. You're being starved out, outcompeted, made obsolete. That's not the dramatic ending we want. But evolution doesn't care about drama. It cares about efficiency. And Megalodon, for all its terrifying majesty, stopped being efficient. But the story doesn't end there. At least not in popular imagination. Every few years, the same theories resurface. Grainy footage, sonar anomalies, eyewitness accounts. The Mariana Trench theory. Megalodon didn't go extinct. It just went deep. Hiding in the abyss, where no one can find it. It's a compelling idea. A hidden world, unexplored, a monster lurking in the darkness. But here's the problem with that theory. Physics. The deep ocean is a desert, cold, dark. Almost nothing lives down there because there's almost nothing to eat. The deeper you go, the scarcer food becomes. A handful of scavengers picking over whatever drifts down from above. Now remember, Megalodon needed thousands of pounds of food every day. Where's that coming from in the abyssal zone? There are no whale populations at 30,000 feet, no seal colonies, no massive schools of fish. And even if food existed down there, there's another problem. Megalodon was built for warm, shallow waters. Its body, its metabolism, its entire evolutionary design was optimized for coastal hunting grounds. The deep ocean isn't just inhospitable, it's biologically impossible. Could Megalodon have survived in hidden populations near the surface? Again, no, because Megalodon wasn't shy. This was an apex predator that hunted the largest creatures on Earth. It would leave evidence, bite marks on whales, tooth scars, bodies. And we see none of that, not a single verified case in modern times. The conspiracy theories are fun. They make for great movies. But they collapse under the weight of basic ecology. Megalodon is gone, and it's been gone for 3.6 million years. So we return to where we started. But now, with clarity. Megalodon was not a giant great white. It was something stranger, more specialized, more magnificent than we ever imagined. A slender phantom. 80 feet of streamlined terror, moving through ancient oceans with deadly grace, the apex of an entire lineage that ruled the seas for 20 million years before vanishing without a trace. And here's the final mystery, the one that still haunts paleontologists. We have thousands of megalodon teeth, scattered across every continent, but we've never found a complete skeleton, not one. Despite millions of years, despite countless individuals, the full picture remains hidden. Bones dissolve, cartilage decays, the ocean keeps its secrets. So yes, Megalodon is extinct. The evidence is overwhelming, the science is clear. But the creature we thought we knew, that was always a ghost, shadow cast by our assumptions. The real Megalodon is still out there, waiting. Not in the depths of the ocean, but in the depths of time, buried in stone, waiting for the next discovery that will change everything we think we know again.